Hello, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Hannah, and today I'm going to be reviewing all of the popular amigurumi yarns for you. So, I went to Hobby Lobby, Joann's, and Michael's, and Amazon, and I bought all of the amigurumi plush yarn that I hear people talk about online in my crochet Facebook groups all of the time, and I want to find out which one is the best. So let's start with some first impressions. We'll start with this one. This is from Amazon. This is Himalaya Dolphin Baby. It's vacuum sealed in here, so we gotta open that up. From what I found, this is just available on Amazon. It is a Chanel yarn. It's a weight 6, super bulky. They recommend a 4.5 millimeter crochet hook, which seems kind of small compared to the other ones typically. This is what I usually use. Yeah, and it recommends an 8. So seems kind of small. First impressions, here's what it looks like. It is soft, very plush. It feels almost identical to what I use now. What I'm using now is Parfait Chunky, so I mean, like, putting them together, they feel basically the same. Let's compare, like, thickness wise. They look the same thickness wise if you kind of look at the two together. Looks the same. They're both size 6, super bulky. Do still just find it strange that they're recommending a 4.5 millimeter hook with this. I use this one and I use a 5 millimeter hook, and it recommends to use an 8. So take that as you wish. We got the end here, we'll see. So typically Chanel, there's like the string that goes through it and then the fluff on the outside, and you can kind of peel it off. Yeah, and so you can see I just peeled it off. So that's pretty typical of all the Chanel yarns, which is what kind of makes it difficult to use for sewing or magic rings, but there's ways around that, which I've done. So feels really nice. We'll see how it compares when I actually crochet something with it. Since we already had it out, we'll talk about Parfait Chunky. This is a yarn that I use simply because it was super popular in the Facebook group that I'm in. People talk about it all the time. They like it. They love it. So I got it, and there's so many color options, which is kind of why I've stuck with it. It's just literally any color you need, they have it. I've never ran across where I couldn't find a color that I wanted. Versus some of these other ones that I got, the color selection is not as much as I would prefer. I just want kind of like, it's nice to have one brand in a million different colors, so then I just have every color that I need right there, which is a huge perk to use this. So I'm trying to see, will any of these change my mind, and will I stray away from using Parfait Chunky, or will I stick with it? Let's find out. Well, anyways, since I've got this, it's so soft. I love the feel of this. I will say some of the lots differ a little bit. Some kind of have like some sort of like, it feels almost like more oily, like it's not quite as soft. It's a little more dense feeling. I think that kind of happens with all the yarn when it's getting processed. Just sometimes it doesn't turn out quite as like fluffy and smooth, but like this one feels really nice. And when it's fluffy and smooth like this, it just glides across the hook so well. So I do recommend this one. You can get it from their website. I get it from Hirschner's, which is in Wisconsin, and since I'm in Minnesota, it's kind of conveniently just, it comes pretty fast for me, which is nice, and you can get it in bags of 3, and since I sell a lot of stuff, getting it in bulk and saving money per skein, it's cheaper to get it on Hirschner's in a pack of 3 than it is to get from the Premier website. Shipping can be expensive, but I am signed up for the Hirschner's text messages and emails, so they text me every time they give out free shipping codes a lot, and so I just kind of wait until they send a free shipping code out, and that's when I buy my stuff, so then I can not have to pay for shipping. Okay, since I have this one open, we'll start with what I got from Michael's. So I went to Michael's second, so I mainly just got the Loops and Threads brand that they have. People talk about it a lot. So this one I just opened to work with it. This is the Loops and Threads Chanel Home Slim is what it's called. This color, oh, it doesn't have a name, it just has a number. Oh, there it is Rose. This color is called Rose. It's a number 6 super bulky. They recommend an 8mm. So I'm creating a dragon with it. So this is just the body and the tail and the head of the dragons that I got so far using it. I made this with a size 6 hook. And I will say it's also very similar and comparable to Parfait Chunky. This one is a little bit thicker. Let me see if I can kind of put them next to each other so you can see. It's just like, it's hard to tell, but it's just very slightly thicker than Parfait Chunky and the Himalaya Dolphin Baby. So like I've made these dragons before, and the last one I made was just like slightly smaller, but it's really not like a huge difference. I think you could use them together and not have it be that noticeable. It's super soft. It feels very much like the other Chanel's, and it works very similar to the other Chanel's, the same, like it peels, the fluff comes off, so I couldn't do a magic circle with it, so I did the chain 2 method, which is what I am typically used to doing with Parfait Chunky, so that was no big deal for me. Also, I just really love this color. This color is beautiful. I'm really excited to see how this dragon turns out. So I have 2 more Loops and Threads brand yarns. They all feel very similar. The next one I have is Sweet Snuggles Light, which I hear people talk about a lot. The same, it's a number 6, recommends an 8mm hook. It is thicker, so this is the Chanel Home Slim. This one is slightly thicker than that one, as you can kind of try and see there. This one comes in these cool like multicolored ones. I had to get one because I've seen people use them. I've never used them. This one is very soft. I feel like it is almost like it's almost softer than this one. Like, I really like the feel of this one. I like the speckled colored ones that they have. Can't find the end. It feels just like a Chanel. Oh, here's the end. Yeah, it's got, you can peel the fluff off the end as per usual. I mean, I'm excited to use all of these. I just don't know how I'm going to make a decision on which one I should stick with. The next one, this one is the Loops and Threads Skinny Chanel. So this one is really thin. It feels almost as thin as like an acrylic yarn that you would get. It is medium 4. They recommend a 6.5mm hook. So compared to the Chanel Home Slim, like it's like half the thickness of that. So This one I'm interested in seeing. I know some people use like the skinny ones. I just feel like whatever I make with this is gonna turn out tiny, like itty bitty, which maybe that's what you like. So I'm not sure that I'm gonna like this one enough to like stick with it, as I don't know that I want it to be my main one, because I kind of want my plushies to turn out a little bit bigger. I think this is gonna make everything really small. So I also got, not Loops and Thread brand, the Brener blanket. This one is also probably one of the, I think this and Parfait Chunky are the two most popular ones that I see people use. So this one's not a Chanel, this is a blanket yarn, which, so it's not quite as like plush and soft. Like, well, it's soft, but it's not quite as like plush. It's hard to describe. Like feeling this, it doesn't quite, the blanket yarn texture is not quite as like super soft and snuggly as the Chanel yarns, but it does still feel nice. It's thicker, so this one is a 6. This one's a 6 super bulky. They recommend an 8mm yarn or hook, and it is bigger than these other ones. So I've got Parfait Chunky and this one next to it. It is bigger. I would use, I think typically when I use this, I would use a 6 or 7mm hook, because it is big. So whatever you make with this, it will turn out larger. I've made some stuff with this. I've made pumpkins, I think, and it works. It does work up fine. I will say that blanket yarn is a lot easier to do a magic circle with, so that's something you're struggling with. You can do a magic circle, you can do sewing with this, and it doesn't, like, here's the end of the, end of the yarn. It doesn't like fall, you can't pull it off like you do with Chanel, where the Chanel is like just, it's like the thread and then there's the fluff around it and the fluff just peels off, versus this is like, this is all together. This is not coming apart, which is kind of nice. I do like that about blanket yarn. I just love how like super soft and cozy this one is. So I don't know if I'll be switching to blanket yarn, but don't have any bad things to say about it. I haven't done a ton with it. Okay, should we move on to, let's move on to Joann's, because I think Hobby Lobby is my biggest bag. So Joann's, I'll do this one because we just did Brener. I got, this one is Brener Baby Blanket. It's like an ombre cake that I got. The baby blanket is, it's softer than just the regular Brener. I like the texture of this better than the Brener blanket. The baby blanket is like, oh my gosh, it's so soft. Can't find the end to see. It still is like a blanket yarn. You can, it's hard to see. So like it's sewn together. So I think that when you use it, it's not gonna fall apart, but I haven't used it yet, so we'll see. I love that it comes in like the ombre color, so I'm excited to use it. It also recommends an 8mm hook. And I do like the texture of this one. Just the feeling is more like cozy. So the baby blanket, like it. I'm liking it. Next to it, oh, I think I have one more Brener. We have Brener Baby Velvet. So this is similar to the skinny Chanel, just in a velvet. It's where it's like, it's pretty thin. So I think whatever you make with this is gonna turn out small. But like, it doesn't fray off the end like the Chanel yarn. It's velvet, so like it is really velvety, smooth, and like sleek feeling. So that's nice. I've never worked with a velvet yarn yet, so I am excited to try that out and see how that goes. So next I have their Big Twist yarns, which is Joann's brand of yarn. We'll start with, this is plush, so this is Big Twist plush. it is really thick. This is even thicker than the Brener blanket. This one, they're still calling it a 6 super bulky with an 8mm hook, and I would typically with amigurumi you go down in size and hook size than what it recommends, but for this I would probably use an 8 or possibly even a 10 because this is thick. It is like plush is real. It is plush. It is like I would sleep and cuddle and cozy with this. It is very nice feeling. Next one is Baby Bear. The Baby Bear is more the size of the skinny Chanel. It is thin. It's soft, but it's not quite as soft as some of the other ones, but it is nice. We'll see. This is a number 5. They recommend a 6.5 hook. Seems, yeah. Not sure if I'm a little more hesitant with these skinnier ones. I don't think I want to move to a yarn that is skinnier than what I'm currently using because I don't want my stuff to turn out teeny tiny. The last one I had, people have been going crazy about this and I haven't used it yet, so I'm so excited to see what the hype is. It is Big Twist Posh. This was selling out everywhere so quick, so fast, so if you can find some, grab some and try it. Basically the appeal to this is it's like Parfait Chunky but in a blanket yarn. So it's the same like size as this, but it's blanket, like the Brener blanket. So it's like a middle ground between Parfait Chunky and Brener blanket, and it feels like a blanket yarn, but it's thinner, which you typically don't get with a blanket yarn. And it feels nice. People like it. I'm excited to try. Okay, that is all that I have from Joann's. Next I have this huge giant bag from Hobby Lobby to go through. So basically everything that I got from Hobby Lobby is, Hobby Lobby's brand is Yarn Bee, and they have Yarn Bee and Baby Bee. So Baby Bee is their baby line, which the baby lines tend to be a little bit like softer and plush, just for like making baby blankets and stuff. So we'll go through. So first of all, they have fur. Oh my gosh, it feels amazing. It is so soft. I've got a couple patterns that have called for fur and I just have substituted with other things, so I was like, all right, I have to get some fur to try. I think it's going to be a nightmare to see the stitches and try and work with, but it just, oh my gosh, it feels amazing. It's so soft. So this is the Yarn Bee For the Moment is what it's called. It's just a bunch of fur, kind of like, got a teeny little, it's hard to see here, little backing. So I'm not quite sure how this is gonna go, but let's see. So this is Yarn Bee Perfectly Plush. This one is really soft. It feels very similar to the Big Twist Plush, except this one is thicker. This one is huge. So this one, they recommend using a 15mm hook, which is really large, especially for like amigurumi. So I don't know that it would be something that I would make all of my plushies in, but I was looking at this and I feel like a brown, super fluffy chicken would be so good. So I'm excited to use it and see how it turns out. Just a little nervous that with how like big this is, these bigger yarns get a little difficult to work with. It just, the stuff doesn't glide on the hook as easy as it does with some of the smaller ones, so we'll see how that goes. Next I got Velvety Smooth. So this is the Yarn Bee Velvety Smooth. I got the sparkle ones to get something different, and I had to get both colors. So I really want to make a black dragon with this and have it be like glittery. I think it's gonna turn out so good. So I had to get two because You don't get sparkles every day. They're beautiful to look at. It's velvet, so it is very velvety feeling. The ones that have the sparkles in them aren't quite as like smoothie. It's like it's velvet, but it's like the sparkles take away some of the like super sleekness of the velvet, but it still feels really nice. It's thin. They recommend using a 6.5 hook. So we'll see how those turn out. I'm excited to use those. Then I have Yarn Bee Cozy Occasion. It feels like blanket yarn. Like it feels a lot like the Brener blanket or the Big Twist Posh. But it's not quite as thick as the Brener blanket. So this one's nice too. Next we have a bunch of the Baby Bee line. So this one is Baby Bee Adorable. They got the cute multicolored yarn. It is very soft. It feels pretty comparable to Parfait Chunky. The size seems like the same. Next I have Snugs and Kisses from Baby Bee. This one feels really good too. This one, oops, can't tell if it's supposed to be, oh, there's the end. Yeah, it's like a Chanel, comes off. It's not quite as like plush feeling. It feels like a mixture of like the Parfait Chunky and a blanket yarn, like it's somewhere in the middle. But it feels nice. It does feel good. Then we have Soft and Snuggly. This color was like super cool. It is soft and snuggly. Feels great. It is really thin. So we'll see how that goes. This is Baby Bee Soft and Snuggly. I think I already said that. Yeah. Last, I have Baby Bee Cuddly one. This one is the thickest of all of them that I have. It is big. She's a thick boy. This one recommends a 15 millimeter. The color's beautiful. It is very soft. Might be hard to work with. I feel like it's just a little bit too thick. But I think making a giant chicken with this would be great. So we'll see how that goes. Well, you should see the mess of yarn that I have in front of me right now. Look at all of this. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So there are a couple more that I ordered that haven't came in yet. So I ordered Hobie. It comes from, I want to say Denmark. It comes somewhere in Europe. So I ordered that, but it's gonna be a bit before it gets here. So I'll do a first impression of that one too. And then I also ordered from Lion Brand, a couple of the Lion Brand ones that also I'm waiting for it to come in the mail. So I'll add some first impressions of those too. Okay, I am gonna do more of like a one-on-one review of all of them as I actually use them. So stay tuned for that video. And if you liked this video, give it a like and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on more.